Hello everyone, today we're going to look at how to prove the sine rule. In order to prove the sine rule, we need to consider our trig ratios. If you can remember the trig ratio, that's SOHCAHTOA, which is sin theta equals to opposite over hypotenuse, cos theta equals to adjacent over hypotenuse, tan theta is equals to opposite over adjacent. So this is our SOHCAHTOA, and today we're going to look at proving the sine rule. So we're going to only looking at sin theta equals to opposite over hypotenuse. As we said, sine rule works for any triangle, but the trig ratios only applies for right angle triangle. So what we're going to do first is that we're going to split our triangle into two right angle triangles. The first triangle is triangle ACX. So this is our triangle 1. So if we can say that triangle CAX is a right angle triangle, and we can start by labeling our sides. So the longest side is hypotenuse, and we want to look at angle A. And this is opposite, and therefore this is adjacent. So if we're using the sine rule, so we can say that sine A is the same as opposite over hypotenuse. And looking at our diagram, our sine A is the opposite is H, and the hypotenuse is B. Then let's look at the second triangle. It's a different color. We also have a triangle CBX. So this is our triangle number 2. So for triangle CCXB, we can again use our sine rule by labeling the sides. So we're going to look at angle B this time. So the longest side is hypotenuse, angle opposite, and adjacent. So again, using our sine rule, opposite over hypotenuse, that sine B is equals to, our opposite is H again, and our hypotenuse is A this time. If you're looking at both sine formulas, we can see what they have in common is H. So we're going to rearrange both formulas to make H the subject. So making H the subject for the first one, we would have B sine A equals to H, and for the second one, we have A sine B equals to H. So now you can see we have H in common, and therefore we know that B sine A is equals to A sine B. And what does our sine rule looks like? So our sine rule for side is A over sine A equals to B over sine B. And for angles, it's sin A over A equals to B over sin B over B. So now we can rearrange our equation from here. So we have B sin A equals to A sin B. Rearrange it, dividing both sides by B, we have sin A over sin A sin B over B. Then divide both sides by B, we have divide both sides by A, we have sin A over A equals to sin B over B. Again, if we're looking at from this step here, we have B sin A equals to A sin B. If we divide both sides by sin A, we get B equals to A sin B over sin A. Then divide both sides by sin B, we have B over sin B equals to A over sin A. So we just prove that the sine rule is true.